1 minute till we get the market on open imbalance. So the Israeli Security Cabinet meeting to approve the Lebanon ceasefire deal has begun, and an Israeli official said that President Biden is expected to announce the ceasefire later on today. So market on open imbalance, the S&P 500 a sell side of 14 million, the Nasdaq 100 a sell side of 9 million, Dow
Okay,
30 a
welcome
buy
everyone to
side
the
of
Pro
22
Trader and
million,
Plus,
and the Mag 7
CB
a
Consumer
sell side of 9
Confidence,
million.
New Homes and Richmond Manufacturing. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director at 10 Minute Trades. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. All the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. Okay, welcome everyone. And just a heads up, we are in a holiday week. It's a definitely the week has extra risk associated with it because there are extra reports being squeezed into reports that they don't always trade with. There's some reports that are trading at different times. So you just want to be aware, and there I need my face in here because we're streaming on YouTube. Welcome everyone. You just want to be aware that it's not a totally normal week when it comes to news. So it's just something to keep in mind. We will see how things go. We have some good setups, like we always do. And it's there's nothing we can do to change the fact that it's going to be a different kind of week. That's what the holidays do. Sometimes also I do some last minute testing, and it really makes for unusual recommendations. So let's talk about CB consumer confidence. First thing, let's take a look at the DMM. This is definitely one of those reports where the DMM sometimes appears a little bit better than the report's actually been trading. So you'll notice we have an alternative ES trap trade, and the ES trap trade has been a winner 3 of the last 4 events. Okay, so that's just it's important to know. The funny thing is, I did some last minute testing, literally last minute this morning, and discovered that our gold trap trade, which we really just haven't been giving as much credence currently as we had in the past, the gold trap trade that we've been looking at has had 4 winners in a row. So it's very interesting that there certainly is the potential for a gold trap trade, but it's not on the DMM because it was last minute testing. So what do you do with a report like consumer confidence? It's a little bit complicated as a report. And one of the reasons it's complicated and it doesn't appear that way on the DMM is because the DMM doesn't say that in July and in October it traded with jolts. Any report that trades with jolts is significantly changed. Okay, that's the reality. It's a significant change. It's not the same as CB consumer confidence trading on its own. Usually, consumer confidence, it'll trade with new homes. That's not unusual. Richmond manufacturing, not unusual. Richmond manufacturing, in fact, they will release Richmond manufacturing probably 20 seconds before the regular news, the rest of the news is released. Richmond manufacturing will come out early. So that's just the way it is. And it won't generally affect the market. It's just Richmond comes out early every month. And we never use the word every, just like we never use the word always. But Richmond always comes out early. I don't know why they do that, but they do it. So look, the reality is the gold breakouts, they're decent on consumer confidence. But something that we've been looking at and something that we have been seeing is that over the course of the last month or so, as we've been trading, our trap trades have been working supremely well. And gold breakouts have not been working as well as our trap trades. So I'm not a fanatical lover of consumer confidence as a breakout. On the other hand, you look at the results. Let's just take a look at what happened last month.
Hezbollah
How did
drones
it
into
trade
Pakistan
as a
last
gold
month.
breakout
Lebanon's
last
CB
month?
enters sensitive hours before awaited ceasefire.
So we had our
Consensus is
normal
gold will
setup.
remain after the war ends.
This was CB consumer confidence last month. The news comes out at 10 o'clock. Now, what's crazy is because of jolts, we didn't even use gold. We traded the ES and we traded the NQ. NQ, I don't have a setup on this report. We have an ES trap and our tiers were too big. So it didn't fill. Okay. It did not fill. Gold had a decent spike and it would have been a profitable trade as a breakout last month. The month before, September, looking at gold, we had an ES trap, gold breakout on the right. Let me back that up. Here's the gold breakout. Definitely a winning gold trade as a breakout. Looked pretty decent. Okay. Looked decent. And let's look at August. We've been trading that ES trap on this report along with gold. The trap was a winner. Gold, little bit slow on the reaction in August. And it shoots down, hits the target. So you can see that gold has a winning trade. So overall, even though I'm not a lover of gold, just because I'm concerned, not so much how gold has been doing specifically on this report, but just how gold has been doing in general on breakout trades. But, we look at the results overall, and interestingly, just for fun, let's look at July, because July we had jolts. So this was July with jolts, very, very fast move. It would have been possible that you didn't get a good fill in July. Now, I really do attribute that to jolts. I do attribute that to jolts. So July, not the, it was a good move, but it was very, very fast, which would have meant possibly a difficult fill. Overall, I think that gold is okay as a breakout. So I will trade it in one of our accounts. I'll trade the gold breakout, but I'm also trading the ES trap trade in one of our other accounts. So the first setup is the gold breakout. And we've got a bracket of 12, an activation of 959.59, targets anywhere between, I would use the targets no bigger than what we see on the DMM, anywhere between 8 and 30, I would say would be reasonable. Anywhere between 8 and 30. Okay. The stop is 15, and that's the setup. That's the breakout. If my first target gets hit, I'll have my stop go to break even -3. And that's my breakout. And I will check, put my time at 0 to check the management of my brackets.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Hang on. I'm in
Order
sim, don't
filled.
worry. But see what happened there, folks? The reason you don't ever want to test your brackets live, I knew I was in sim, but I got filled when I tested my brackets. I knew my software was in sim because I saw it up on the control panel. But you've got to be very careful if you are going to test and you're not in sim. You don't want to get filled, okay? You don't want to get filled when you're doing a test. So let me just fix that. And I'm going to reset my strategy also. So my gold breakout, let me just reload my template. CB consumer. All right, 959. Let me get the right thing. Hang on. It's a breakout. Let's load it.
So OPEC Plus begins talks on delaying oil production restart again.
All right, 959.59, bracket of 12, stop of 15, targets anywhere between 8 and
WTI.
30. Bracket is 12, trigger 959.59. If my first target gets hit, I'm going to move my stop to break even -15, -3, not -15. You could do it -15. You wanted to move your stop 15 ticks before you got filled. BE -3. The stop is 15. All right. So now make sure you know what account you're on. Sim 101. So that's where my charts are. Spread them apart. Don't forget to put your time at 0.
So key OPEC Plus nations have begun discussions to delay the oil production restart
Time
plan
at
for
0.
January, potentially for several months, delegates say.
Order submitted.
Now the gold market, the bracket of 12, gold is pretty
Order canceled.
volatile this morning. It was up $14 previously.
So
It's now down to
Saudi Arabian
5. There's
Energy
been
Minister
quite a
bin
bit
Salman met with
of
Russian
gold
Energy
movement
Prime
this
Minister
morning.
Novak and Iraqi Prime
Order
Minister
submitted.
Sudani in Baghdad, where they discussed oil market
That's our
stability,
bracket at
according to a
12.
statement from the Iraqi Prime Minister's office. The whole of OPEC Plus is due to meet online on December 1st.
Put my time back to 9:59:59. Okay, choose the account I'm trading in.
So Israel says it's to strike branches of Hezbollah-linked lender soon.
All right, so we've got our gold breakout set and ready to go. When I enable it, I get my logo, my icon, so my gold breakout. Yeah, I think 12 is big enough. That's what our testing has been, Roz. There's not, if you look at the moves, without jolts, there was only one move above 30, 30 ticks without jolts. So you got a 12 bracket and a 20 target. There's not enough profit. So I do think that the bracket should be okay. It's been good for half a year. The bracket's been okay. And I've got an ES trap trade that I'm willing to trade. I almost like the gold trap better, but I'm going to go with the ES. It's 3 out of 4. And our setup, position size 1 is a 1, position size 2 is a 1. Our tiers are 12 and 20. And our stop is 20. The time, if you're using the current software, 9:59:55. If you're using the previous software, you have something called prep seconds, and your prep seconds,
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get USCB consumer confidence forecast 111.75 on the prior 108.7, with a range of 117.2 to 107.5. US new home sales units forecast 0.725 million on the prior 0.738 million, with a range of 0.75 million to 0.688 million. US new home sales change month on month. Forecast minus 1.8% on the prior 4.1%. Richmond Fed Composite Index
Okay,
prior
testing one, two,
minus
1, 2.
1.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And see the
We also
screens?
expect comments from ECB
Okay.
Centino, who speaks at
Folks,
Bank
I
of
mean,
Portugal,
sometimes
about
technology
Portuguese
just
central
acts
bank's
like
macroprudential
technology.
stability
I don't
report.
know what to tell you.
We
I'm
also
sorry.
expect comments from Bank of
ES
Portugal,
trap trade,
who speaks on economic activity and presentaion.
959.55,
The House of Lords
12 and
Parliamentarian
20 on the
Affairs Committee.
tiers. The stop is a 20. Okay? The stop is a 20. That's the ES trap trade. Position size 1 is a 1. Position size 2 is a 1. So that'll be the second trade that I'm trading. And I'll probably manage that more than I managed the gold trade. I hope that everybody went to time is, that everybody go to time is and check your time sync. Make sure that your computer is in sync. Go to the website time.is. Okay. Make sure your computer is in sync. So once again, let's go up and go over the setups. The gold breakout. Triggering at 9:59.59. The bracket is 12. Targets of 8 to 30 at the most, 8 to 30, with a stop of 15. With a stop of 15. Targets, like I said, anywhere between 8 and 30. If you're going to go for 30, you're going to think about managing your way out if you don't hit your targets. Now, sometimes, we haven't looked at MGC, Roz, and I don't have a good feel for MGC on this report. Chantal, I don't know if you have any thoughts. I think you've answered. I think you've answered. Take the same settings. Now the ES. Oh, that was MES. I'm not sure that I love MGC as a breakout only because I haven't tested it. I have not looked at it. MES on the trap. So on the trap, we've got tiers of 12 and 20. 12 and 20 with a stop of 20. And then the trigger time is 9:59:55 using the current software. 9:59:55. Tiers of 12 and 20. Stop of 20.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get USCB consumer confidence forecast
Just
108
saying, if
points.
somebody wanted to
With the
trade
prior
a gold
108
trap
points,
trade on
with a
this,
range of
we have tiers of
109.12 to
30 and
107.5.
45
US new home
with
sales
a
change
stop of
forecast of
20. 30 and
0.725 million on
45
the prior
with a stop of 20.
0.738 million.
and it worked
100 0
very,
spot
very well.
75 million to 0 spot 688 million. US new home sales change month on month. Forecast -1 spot 8% on the prior 4 spot 1%. Richmond Fed Composite Index prior -14. We also expect comments from Bank of England's Pill, who speaks on economic inactivity at a hearing for the House of Lords Economic Affairs
Are
Committee
you all
this
able to
week.
hear me?
We also
I'm
expect
here.
comments from ECB Centeno, who speaks at the Bank of Portugal press conference about the Portuguese Central Bank's financial
Can you all hear
stability
me?
report.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just sitting here thinking. I'm just sitting here thinking. It seems like gold is getting ready. It's calming down a bit. So here's my feelings right now, folks. I don't I don't like gold as a breakout today on this report. I I want to do something I never do, and I don't think we should trade gold live breakout on this report. I could be completely wrong, but I don't like gold's behavior, and I'm not trading it live. I'm not trading it live. I might be crazy, but I just don't like gold's behavior today. I'm moving to sim on my gold trade. I don't like gold's behavior. So that's what I'm not trading gold live because I'm just not liking gold's behavior. It's been quite volatile this morning. I could be completely wrong, but I'm not trading gold live. So people that are on the internet,
1 minute remaining.
we're
Holding
not
price
looking long or
expectation
short.
confidence.
We're looking whichever direction we get pulled into the market. So I'm making that clear again. I'm not risking anything on gold breakout this morning. I'm trading the ES. I could be wrong, but I just haven't
Seeing only
liked
Richmond
gold's
Fed
behavior
Composite Index -14, -14. That's lower than
prior to
forecast
the report.
-11.
So I could be completely, like I said, I could be completely wrong. It could have a perfect breakout, but I'd rather be careful. Richmond just came out early, like I said it would.
Order submitted.
So I'll watch the ES.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
111 spot 7, 111 spot 7 lower than forecast,
My
111 spot 8
ES
US new home
is
sales
in
units, 0
profit.
spot 61 million, 0
It's
spot
in a
61
big
million,
Order
profit,
lower than
filled.
a
forecast,
huge
Order
profit on
111
the
canceled.
ES. Gold is not a disaster, I
Sales
don't
change month on
think.
month, -17 spot
I don't
3%,
think.
-17 spot 3% lower than forecast, -1 spot 8%.
I'm watching gold. Now remember, I said not trading it as a breakout. I was not liking gold's behavior. The ES was an unbelievable trade, and we'll talk about it in a minute. It basically traded itself. Gold, you're going to have to tell me what happened if you're in it. You're still in it if you're in it. That makes no sense, but you know what I mean. Now, trading gold in sim is nothing like trading it live on a report like this. Okay, Ravi, you were able to get out with a small profit. I just felt that gold had too much volatility this morning, that it's uncertain of direction, and I just felt because of the way gold's been trading on this report, I know it looks like it's been trading good on the DMM, but when you do a deep dive, it struggles. Theoretically, I would still be in my gold trade. The ES was the better trade.
Consumer
I mean,
confidence
it made
prioritized
a whole bunch of money.
109.6.
I mean, a whole bunch of money.
And
800
US new home sales
on
changing
ours.
hands with
Order
And
financial
gold,
filled.
advisors.
gold for me was a problem, but I did not try to manage it. I did not try to manage it. But I'm very comfortable with the fact that I did not want to keep that gold trade on. It's partly because of the way this report traded in general, but the ES, yeah, Ravi, you just can't be afraid of the ES traps. You just can't. Every single trap that we have traded over the past month and a half has been a winner. Every single one. I can't remember the last one. You know what, Ravi? Yeah, September. September was only the only bad one. One out of three. One out of three. If it was a breakout, think about this. If it was a breakout and you had one out of three breakouts that didn't work, no hesitation to trade the breakouts. So you want to give the trap trade the same leeway. You want to give it the same leeway. I was stopped on that same trade. It was terrible. It was terrible. But the testing works. The testing works. The testing works. And you know,
So
trading a
USCB was up
random
112.7
MNQ,
on consumer
Chantal,
confidence.
I don't know how that helps us, right? A random MNQ. Okay.
We have posted the US new home sales October report and USCB consumer confidence
It's
report
random
on
for
screen for
us.
all those interested.
It's random for us. So anyway, um, let's see what happened. Adam, I'm trying to read what you said. Minus 900. I'm not clear on what your numbers mean. I'm not clear on what your numbers mean. What was the spike on gold on that trade? I don't think it was very big. Let's take a look at the video. Let's take a look at the video. Okay, okay, Adam. I thought you were saying negatives. All right. Let's take a look at the video. What I'm curious about is what our if our gold trap trade would have filled. What was the spike, Chantal? What was the spike on gold? The initial spike.
So looking at the USCB consumer confidence report, the perceived likelihood
And
of a
let me
US
go over
recession over
to
the next
just
12
looking
months
at the
fell slightly low in
news
November.
also. Looking at the news, I don't know if anybody noticed, but Richmond came out real early. It was like 20 seconds early. Yet only spiked 17. So our gold trap trade would not have filled. It did a good reversal, but it wouldn't have filled because our tiers were bigger. So I'm glad I stayed with the ES. Consumer confidence was almost as expected. New home sales looks like they were way down. And then Richmond is negative today, but Richmond honestly doesn't affect the market. It doesn't affect the market. So the ES was the big winner. The ES trap trade was the big winner. Okay, see you, Rob. Everybody stay in the room for a minute. Stay in the room for a minute. I want to thank everybody who's watching on YouTube. Hit the like button. I'm going to shut down our YouTube stream. And that's our only stream of the week because of the holiday. So thank you everybody for watching on YouTube, and we'll set up some more streams for next week. Thanks for joining with us.